Good morning, everyone. My name is Dennis Trainor. I'm the chair of the Joint Authority and Canal Corporation's Audit Committee. I welcome members John Koelmel, Michael Cusick, Lewis Warren Jr., and Laurie Wheelock. I also welcome the NYPER staff members who are participating. This is a scheduled committee meeting, which has been duly noticed as required by open meetings law. And I'll call this regular meeting to order. We will begin with the adoption of the agenda. I ask the committee members if there's any amendments to the proposed agenda.
I'm happy to move it as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I now ask Salman Ali, Senior Vice President, Internal Audit Committee, to present the first two reports. Morning, Salman. How are you?
Hey, Salman.
To the slides. Pull up the slides. Perfect. Right. Good morning, Chairman.
Morning.
Trustees, NYPA colleagues, member of the public. Let me briefly outline what we'll cover this morning. I will start with where our audit plan stands, execution and observations as of July 17th. I will then touch upon our mission and strategic priorities, confirm our required communication to this committee, and then turn to our strategy and the impact it is delivering. You will also hear from two members of my leadership team, Ken Lerman on innovation and Ignacio Bullrich on people development. So let's start with audit execution. We have had a good start to 2026. We have 43 audits on the 2026 audit plan, including 4 EH&S engagements. 5 deliverables have been issued to date, 3 reports and 2 memos. As just a reminder, our audit year runs April to March, so we're early in the cycle, with much of the plan already in fieldwork or reporting, including a few reports being issued this week. We remain on track and to complete the plan by March of next year. On operational excellence, our auditor utilization is tracking to our 75% target, both fieldwork to issuance and overall project life cycle improved versus last cycle, and both remain in line with the benchmark standards. I'm also pleased to report that all our quality assurance program related items have been completed. We provided an update in December, and those items have been completed. So I want to kind of give a big shout out to the team to make sure from a quality perspective, our department is up to the standards. So I'll turn over to the observation scorecard. For 2025, NYPA had about 46 observations identified, and 54 are now closed. Every remaining observation is on track, and good news is there's no extensions which have been requested. On EH&S, 32 observations in 2025, 38% closed. Again, all remaining items are on track with no extensions. For 2026, we have no high-rated observations, open high-rated observations. So, I mean, just to kind of paint a high-level picture, the trend line gives you the fuller picture. Observation volume is down from 2024. Closure rates are holding, and we are closing by the due date. So we mean management is closing the issues on time, and that is sustained closure discipline. And this has been something we've been, working with senior management. I want to give a big thanks on their cooperation and their effort to bring these items to closure. So we'll jump on to our mission, vision, and values. Before turning to strategy, I want to just briefly ground us on our foundation. I just thought that this would be a good slide to remind in terms of how we inspired the team and how we have grounded ourselves with the overall NYPA's strategic vision. Our mission, vision, and values are the concert against which we which we operate, and everything is measured against that. Our mission is to strengthen the organization's ability to create, protect, and sustain value. Our vision is to be a trusted partner in strengthening organizational health and our values, and it are grounded in independence, trust, diversity of thought, collaboration, impact, and strategic foresight. And this is how we shape the work we do. And our 4 priorities, which is at the bottom, and we'll get into it a little bit more, carry that into practice: innovating, aligning assurance, developing our people, and elevating reporting and communication with our stakeholders. And then our 4 priorities are what frames the rest of this morning. So before I jump into the strategic update, I want to, provide an update on the CAE communication. So this slide is the formal communication to the committee. I'm pleased to report that all IA standards have been fulfilled for 2026 year, which includes disclosing any impairments to objectivity, meeting with the board and senior management, and communicating results and internal quality assessments. And we've included the details in the appendix, which have been provided. So just to state it plainly, there's no impairments to our independence or objectivity to report. So before we jump into the deeper strategy, which Ken and Ignacio will come present, I want to just ground you and remind you in terms of where we stand. So when we presented our plan and our strategy in March, as you recall, we committed to coming back to this committee to show what is working and what we're delivering. And this slides begins that story. Our 4 priorities are delivering across 4 dimensions: efficiency, capacity, quality, people, and capability. AI and automation is letting the team deliver more assurance work in less time. Continuous auditing gives us coverage that runs year-round rather than once a year. We're moving from sample-based testing towards full population testing with analytics as the default. We are growing in-house expertise to meet NYPA's evolving audit needs, and these compound on each other. So more coverage, deeper testing, stronger in-house expertise. And the timing matters because NYPA asset base is expanding. Transmission in particular is expected to grow significantly over the next 5 years, and as well as nuclear, canals, renewable. The portfolio continues to grow. So building this capacity now is how we stay ahead of that growth. So with that, I will welcome Ken to this.
Before you jump there,
Yes.
Ken, just
Yeah.
go off script and talk to us a little bit. Okay?
Sure.
So as the leader of the group, what's your sense of, so wrapped up 25, whatever your 25, 26 year wrap up feels good. 26, 27 is off to a good start. Team's in a good spot. Organization, anything you see that gives you pause, concern, you feel you're well positioned relative to all we've got going and all the rest. I mean, just editorialize a little bit.
Sure.
Have a bit of a conversation with us. I appreciate the scripted remarks, but yeah, always enjoy the conversation. So talk to us a little bit as to how things look from your seat, your perspective as the leader of the group.
No, I welcome the comment. So from my perspective, I think things are looking very positive and promising. I think we've established the foundation. So last year was more laying the groundwork, laying the practices, meeting the quality assessment requirements, looking to see how we can be more efficient. I think we're planning ahead is the more work as NYPA grows and how we're able to absorb some of that additional portfolios with the rigor it needs. So that's sort of from my perspective is people obviously is important and making sure we have the right folks who have the right expertise. Another aspect is subject matter expertise within the team. So we're trying to build that and move away from co-source and other outside service providers.
Right.
So we're instituting a lot of the knowledge in-house so we can be successful in these domains. So for example, nuclear and renewable is an area which we haven't done a lot of audits in. So that's where I will be investing a lot of the resource and time to make sure we're able to, do that work when we are, when we're, obviously as the NYPA's portfolio moves.
And you're comfortable that at this point you've got the resources and time you need to make those investments? Your plan, and from what you can tell, appropriately anticipated, additional different resource needs. You feel good about, where you are?
I think right now we feel good where we are. I think we'll, as we mature our program, we'll assess, whether it makes sense to maybe, bring in more in-house resources or keep some of the outside service providers. So that's been sort of the challenges, a lot of the work, which is, things which we can do on our own.
Right.
We are still looking to the outside service providers to help us. So there might be an opportunity
Give
to.
us an example of that.
So I would say, we're doing a reconciliation type of an audit, right? We're looking at, system A and system B, and we're looking at, whether the accounting is appropriate or not. That's something which I think we can do in-house, and we can, use analytics, we can use AI, but areas such as cybersecurity or renewable, where or things which are in the safety side, where we have folks who actually go on the field, that's where there's that need.
Okay.
Yep.
Because this is your second full year now in the seat?
About this, yeah, reaching the second year, yes.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Ken Lerman.
Thank you, Salman. Good morning, Chairman, trustees, NYPA colleagues, and public. I'm Ken Lerman, the Director, Internal Audit Technology. Aside from my audit responsibilities, though, I'm leading the innovation strategy. I'll take the innovation priority that Salman just spoke about and introduce what we're producing in practice. The innovation story follows along the top of the slide. This is the work we've done is freeing up hours. Those hours are funding new capacity. That capacity lets us test more deeply, and it frees us up for what's next at NYPA. I'd like to start out with the efficiency that we've accomplished to date using our AI prompt library and other automation tools. The team has saved about 300 hours year to date. That time is already saved by making routine tasks and drafting documentation faster. Sorry, excuse me. The key point here is we're reinvesting those hours back into our audit work.
What percentage of your time does that represent, Ken?
Overall,
Yeah, the 300.
it's
Is that a one quarter? You said year to date. Is that the audit quarter, or is that the?
That's year to date, January to June, right? So it's 6 months. It's
So it's like 10 hours a week, for the whole team. It strikes me as a little low, but.
Right, and so we're really early in the process. Like January is when we really started building out our prompt library. We're saving roughly, between 10 and 20 hours in audit, which we will grow further as we mature the strategy. We expect to save significantly more.
Okay.
All right, so we are using the hours, though. We've already started investing in focusing on continuous audit projects. Those projects use automated analytics to monitor controls and risks. Unlike traditional audits, which give us a snapshot at a point in time, we're actually, the continuous audit allows us ongoing insights and help us spot improvement opportunities sooner. This approach makes our audits more efficient, covers more ground, and delivers faster, more useful insights for NYPA. We have 2 continuous audit use cases live. That's metering and generation and billing. Both could be used to monitor on an ongoing basis. This is recurring assurance that, expands the ground we cover. On the quality side, using some of the hours, we could focus more on full populations in our audits. That's going to be the default. Those are analytics-driven coverage, so we're not doing just testing sampling. That makes our conclusion stronger and our audit coverage deeper. I'd like to point out down here is an enabler for our reporting and communications pillar. They're using our technologies to have operationalized 62% of our metrics. It's saved another 150 hours this year, just on the time it takes us to put together the metrics. We used to have a meeting to talk about how we were doing. That's all done outside and automated now. So those hours are turning into faster decisions. And then we have the payoff. As we grow and build, the capacity we're freeing up is being reinvested into NYPA's New Frontiers. That's the nuclear renewables area. It'll allow us more advisory type reviews. Those reviews are critical in assessing new large initiatives at NYPA as our portfolio evolves and grows. So here's the value we're adding back to the business. The stakeholders will save time through our efficiencies by using less time in responding to audit requests. In addition, our continuous audit tools can be leveraged and enhanced by the business for their own use and insights regarding their operational efficiencies and control health. Is there any questions on so far? Okay. So these are the early steps. As I pointed out, we spent last year pretty much planning. This year is all about execution. There is a roadmap to take our innovations further, and the foundation and the value is already measurable. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I'll hand it over to Ignacio to talk about our talent.
Yeah, obviously, we look forward to hearing, the benefits of this as it progresses and, goes. So,
For sure.
yeah, the more you can bring in-house and the more expertise, we have, the better. So, super.
With AI, next time it'll be a virtual me up here talking.
We'll take you. All right.
Thank you.
Next slide, please. Good morning, trustees, senior management, NYPA colleagues, and members of the public. I'm Ignacio Bullrich. I'm a director of internal. I need to do the clicker. There we go. As part of my role, I am responsible for leading the talent strategy for internal audit. So today I'd like to share an update on what we aim to achieve, the progress that we've made, and an initiative that we're starting to further strengthen our capabilities in the audit department. To center this, our approach is to ensure that we have the right people with the right skill sets to help deliver value to NYPA. And to do that, we're focused on 3 priorities: building an environment where people want to come and join and stay, developing the capabilities that we need to meet NYPA's objectives, and then creating clear pathways to develop our team for future leadership roles, both within the audit department as well as across NYPA. So to help illustrate our progress, I'll draw your attention to the top portion of the slide, where we measure a few indicators. The first is retention. We're at 95%. This reflects our ability to keep a highly skilled workforce in a competitive market. Our engagement score, the most recent survey showed a 7% increase compared to 2023. This signals stronger satisfaction, greater engagement from our team, and greater connection to our mission. And then the third is upskilling. Our auditors have about 50 hours of training annually. About 30% of that is dedicated to AI and data analytics. And as Ken highlighted in his update, the investment in analytics and AI enabled tools only delivers value if we know how to use them. So we've intentionally aligned our training focus to those innovation efforts. We also support leadership and technical skill training for our auditors based on their specific needs. This emphasis strengthens our ability to address emerging risks and increase our audit efficiency. Together, these scores show that we have a solid foundation to support NYPA's objectives. Building on that foundation, I'd like to share an initiative that we're piloting within the department, Center of Excellence Lead Program. The program is intended to create leadership opportunities for our staff by allowing them to deepen their subject matter expertise and be able to influence management organizational practices beyond just the individual audits that they work on. So the COEs will support the annual audit planning process, audit scoping, control evaluation, and interaction with senior leadership. So as you can see on the bottom portion of the slide, the cyber, third-party, environmental, health and safety risk domains are already live. We have a few others on the table that we're looking to consider over time. Those three were selected because they represent significant risks to NYPA and they're aligned with themes that we've identified as part of our audits. With this initiative, we're looking to strengthen our long-term capabilities and, as Salman mentioned, reducing our reliance on external specialists. So before I close, I'd like to recognize and acknowledge a few members of the audit team, Matt McCaffrey, Nadira Chiliast, and Jeff Horning for taking on the COE lead roles. And a special thanks to Ray Corona because he helped us put this program together and develop it. So thank you. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
You're playing off retention. So in terms of having the team you want, are you at capacity or you have open seats?
We do have a few open positions.
The recruiting effort, you know, what's your ability to?
We brought on one person this year, right?
Right.
We're also engaging contingent workers to help stopgap and not rely as much on consultants. And I think we have two open positions, one for our business intelligence and another auditor.
Are we what positioned well enough to compete? I mean, I don't know what the supply demand, mix is. Do you feel as though we have what you have what you need to compete for the right talent? Are we winning or losing, more of the bids or what?
I can take that. We just posted the position, Chairman. So one position is for somebody who really heads the AI analytics innovation strategy. So all things technology, and that's I think one thing. We actually are just posting the role, so we're getting some good candidates. It's a very good market, I would say.
But you feel we're competitive in the marketplace, or?
I think so. I think we're competitive in terms of.
You feel good about that?
Yes, I mean we recently changed. I don't know if it's on. We recently changed our benchmarking strategy so that each discipline within job families are aligned specifically to the market-based pay. We have had good success in attracting folks, and with the requirement to post good faith estimates, folks are aware of our salaries, and we are getting significant applicants on almost all of our roles.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we have had some good pipeline in the so.
And in terms of engagement, what are the absolute numbers there? Do we move from 45 to 52 or 75 to 82?
If I recall correctly, we went from like 72 to 79.
Okay, and how does that compare to the organization overall?
It's on par.
Okay, so
I think the organization was somewhere in between.
The same zone?
Yeah.
So you're moving with the right general tide? Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, and the Center of Excellence, obviously, that's great, as we talked earlier. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
All right, there was no vote necessary, but I want to thank Salman for bringing his team in today. Thank you very much. The consent agenda is now before the members for adoption. I ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next meeting of the audit committee is scheduled to be held on Tuesday, December 8th. I ask for a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.